Hi, we're the Clark family, and we've sold our house and packed up our lives and moved to Galicia in northern Spain.
So follow us as we start our new lives, learn new skills, join a new community and try to live a more sustainable life. So it is about 24-25 degrees in here at the minute. It's about 12 outside, so doing its thing. Seeds are doing well. Garlic is doing too well. So I'm down here. I'm going, some of these are getting a bit floppy, look. Well, I think they're getting perhaps a bit too big. So I'm down here. I'm going to do a bit of weeding to get rid of the grass that inevitably was going to always come through the cardboard that we put down. Not been down here for a couple of days, so there's a bit too much of it for my liking, but off I go. It won't take me too long, I don't think. And then I'm going to put these actually out into the beds, which is very exciting. So we sort of worked into the dark last night to get as many of the seeds planted as we could. The night just sort of springs upon you here. It's ever so strange, but anyway, so we didn't quite get it all finished last night, so I spent a lot of today doing it as well. Another beautifully sunny day with a chill in the air, but warm enough to just be in a t-shirt. So I'm going to flip you around and I'll show you how it looks in here now. We're all planted up. We've got a selection of spinach and kale and lettuces in here, as well as some garlic. Now I've said before about the garlic that I potted inside in trays. It turns out that one of our lovely commenters on our last video, thanks very much, suggested that maybe they're not planted deep enough and that's why they've sprouted so soon. But it's an experiment, it's a learning journey, so I've put them in anyway to see how they do. But yeah, here they are. It's a mishmash. I've not done it religiously. I've not put everything in certain space. I've tried to stick to the distance rules and advice, but as it became apparent that I was running out of space for how many amazing plants that we still had left to put in, the rules kind of got a little bit broken, it's fair to say, and things have just kind of been shoved in now. But over there you can see a row of red onions and yellow onions now have got a row of lettuces in front of them. In between them two rows of onions is supposed to be carrots that initially look very promising, and I think that when the cover came off of the polytunnel, it just must have got too cold or too wet or whatever in here for them, and pretty much they've all gone now. I think we've got a couple of tiny little ones somewhere that are trying their best. Again, sorry for the terrible camera work. I can't see him now. But yeah, it's doing all right. We're pretty happy. The irrigation system still needs finishing off. There's no sprinklers, as you can see on that line over there at the minute. But it doesn't really matter because we've got no water. The weather's been too nice. the last few days we've not had any rain, and they're still empty, so we're going with the traditional watering can method. But yeah, there is a little update on everything that's now planted out in the polytunnel. While I'm doing a seedling update, I thought I would show you my outside garlic bed. This is all planted at the right depth all the way along here, and they've all started coming up as well, actually. So not going quite so crazy as the ones that are inside that we planted in the trays, but definitely coming up. That little fellow over there, he's up a lot more. Now these are obviously outside, and I could blanket them, but you're not really supposed to blanket, or not really supposed to need to blanket garlic, because they're not really supposed to be showing their heads just yet. And we are due to have quite cold weather next week. Not necessarily frost, I don't think, but it's certainly going to be getting down to sort of 5 and below at night. So I have been thinking maybe one way of helping to protect them might be to put another layer of compost on top of what's already here. See them fellas over there, look there. They're really popping up. So should I put another layer of compost on top of these to sort of give them a little bit of protection, or do I just roll with it? Do they just grow here earlier than what they do back in England? I don't know. If anyone's got any idea, then please let me know. But I'm planning on asking the neighbours, so we'll see what they say too. Thanks. Thought I'd also show you that a couple of weeks ago, you might have seen that I planted some bulbs in our front beds to try and bring a bit of colour to them, ready for next year. And these have already started growing as well. Now these are definitely not supposed to be growing yet, surely. But these little dudes, like little mini pineapples, clearly they're not. Focus. Why isn't it focusing? There you go. Clearly they're not little pineapples, but they're very cool. Also, we got these weeds around here that look like this. They look like little wild carrots, and they do sort of smell a bit carroty as well when you pull them out. Let me see if I can get it. No, can't get it. Is he gonna come? Oh no, can't get it. But they sort of do have like long taily bits, and the leaves look like carrots, like carrot tops too. Kind of weird. But yeah, the bulbs are already started growing, ready for the spring. Something very strange is going on here. It's a mystery. So last weekend, while we were at the fiesta with the neighbours, we were chatting to one of them about the mushrooms that we have in our land, and it transpires that she's a bit of an expert in mushrooms and in self-sufficiency, and she knows all about mushrooms. And she basically says to us that when we have mushrooms on the land, just take them up to her, she'll tell us when they're edible or not, which is pretty cool. And then the other night she rang me and says, Emma, I've collected some mushrooms, I've got some here for you, come and have a look and you can have some. So we got in the car and went up, and she had this massive, absolutely massive crate of mushrooms that she just started putting in this bag for us. Now we had some for dinner last night, fried in butter, and they were delicious. However, these are starting to go now, they're starting to turn, and there's no way that we're going to be able to eat them in time. So I'm going to try and dehydrate them. She also gave us some mushrooms and some onions and some garlic that she'd also grown. So these are the mushrooms that we have left. Now they look like they're turning green, but they're not. They actually are green inside these mushrooms. So that is just the inside going out. So there's two different types. I can't remember the name of either of them because she did tell us them in Spanish. These are the blue mushrooms, or these might be a blue mushroom. Anyway, both of these do actually grow on our land as well, so we'll hopefully keep our eyes down and grow some ourselves. So she said not to wash them. You just take a damp cloth, and you just give them a bit of a wipe to take any surface stuff off. So I'm going to give them a good wipe over, get rid of any that are really like manky bits, like that, just crumbled in my hand. And then I'm going to slice them fairly thin, stick them in the dehydrator at, well, the internet says 55 degrees for 4 or 5 hours. So we'll give it a go and see what they're like. What's the worst that can happen, I suppose? So it took about 7 hours in total in the end for the mushrooms to fully dry out, but as you can see, they've all shriveled up nicely, and now they are well, very crispy and completely dried out. I tell you what, the smell is absolutely incredible. Imagine the smell of mushrooms, but I don't know, a million times more. As soon as I opened the door, I was kind of hit with the smell of mushrooms, of dried mushrooms, but they're absolutely incredible. They've shrunk a lot more than what I thought they were going to. I'm not really sure what I was expecting, as always with these projects, but they're really shrunk compared to what there was. So I think that the big jar that I brought down to fill up with the mushrooms is perhaps a little bit oversized, but as always, it's an experiment. It's working out what we can do with things, and we've got lots of them. So when we're going to have a course with our neighbour, she's going to show us what mushrooms we can eat in the area, where to find them. So at least we know what to do, and hopefully we'll be able to collect loads of these and make some nice mushroom soups. I don't actually think we've ever shown you inside of our pig barn. We refer to it sometimes. It's quite dark in here. There we go, turn my brightness up. So it's absolutely full of, we're not really sure what most of it is, to be fair. That's a table with some potting stuff and some pots and hose and wire and some sort of wicker baskets just there. In this cupboard here, there's some medicines. We don't really know what they are. And then down here is the little, well, what used to be the pigsties, or pig, I don't know. When we get our potato harvest, we'll keep our potatoes in here because it's nice and cool and dry. And then that just there is a little door that leads to the outside chicken shed. Another chest, not actually looked inside it, a bit scared. And then up here, hanging, is some really old farming tools. And some of them are obvious, like rakes and hoes. Some of them are a bit less obvious. And some wood and some barrel, and that at the end there, that's a bed that clearly isn't wanted and perhaps is in here drying out for firewood. This here we've discovered is for getting sweet corn off of a cob, and you put the sweet corn cob in there and you turn the handle, and apparently it takes all of the corn off for you to collect underneath, which is, I mean, probably really useful, to be fair. If we're going to grow sweet corn, then we'll probably use it. We'll show you if we do. And then more tools. In these bags here is collected up, I think they're sweet corn husks. Oh no, they're not, the pine cones. We do also have a collection of sweet corn husks somewhere because they're amazing for getting fires started. But we've discovered that they're a little bit smoky. There must be a bit of oil in them. So instead, we're collecting sticks. The trees give them away for free. So, got a good pile going now. With just the other side of veranillo, which is a Spanish word. It means little summer. I guess the English equivalent would be an Indian summer. However, it is sort of the middle of November and we're talking 17, 18 degrees. It's not now. I think it's 12 and it doesn't look very windy, but there is a bite to the wind. So that's what I've been up to, just collecting little sticks ready for when we need that fire roaring. So this here is the chicken coop that I mentioned in the last little video. That door just there is where you access it to from the inside. Clearly it's not been used for a very long time. It's incredibly overgrown. There's some rubbish in there, not really sure what, because we've never managed to get that door open. But we're thinking that we are actually going to use this for chickens that we're going to get next year. We think that our egg laying hens would be the happiest in here. We are planning on having meat chickens as well, but we'll start with the eggs because they're the easiest and the most delicious. So yeah, we're going to give this a bit of a tidy up at some point over the winter, ready to have chickens.
I chopped up this tree that had come down in the storm. Before we even arrived at the house here, the tree had come down. So it seems about the right time of year to start doing this kind of job. All the rest of the trees are losing their leaves, so trying to do a bit of tree thinning, etc. Anyway, we're processing this, and just wanted to talk to you quickly about axes, because this is something I didn't know, and perhaps because I don't move in the the tree cutting world, but I just thought an axe was an axe, to be fair. Similar to this one, obviously bigger, you know, that sort of size. But I don't know if you can see that with the profile of it. Whenever you try and chop some wood up, which we have to do sometimes because they won't fit in the cocina di lena, which is the wood burning stove, because the firebox in there is quite small. Obviously can't fit in. Oh, I'll get an axe, I'll chop it up, no problem at all. So I've got a bigger one of these. This is just for an example. Try and chop it up with one of these. It takes you forever because it's so narrow and it's built for cutting rather than splitting. It just sticks in the top of the wood, and you spend more time trying to get the axe out of the wood than you do actually splitting it. So with a bit of research and looking on YouTube, etc., discover, and why I would know this I don't know, but we found out you can get one of these, which is a wood splitting axe. So if you look at the profile of it, you can see how when it goes into the wood, it just basically splits it apart, because the wedge, like that, the wedge there is so much wider, so when it enters the wood, it just splits it much quicker and splits the wood, and it makes the job so much easier. So I'm going to try and give you a demonstration with the wood splitting axe. Obviously I'm not experienced at this, but it seems to be splitting it well, so I think I must be doing something right. So we've got quite a big lump of wood here. That's a fair old diameter, big as your head, as they say in the UK. Hopefully this works. If it doesn't, it's going to look like a prize fall. So it's not quite split it, but it came out very easily, and I can see it's already split all the way through. So there we go. I mean, that's a fair old chunk of wood, and with sort of 1.5 blows, it's split in half to get it down to the right size. Just thought I'd show you that. I wasn't aware. I thought an axe was an axe and you're using the same axe for all the same things, but clearly not. Different tools, different jobs. Really had to bite my tongue not to say, look at my massive chopper.
Adam's up there processing a fallen tree, so I am down here attempting to deal with our outside log storage space. This is where we put wood for the first year for it to start drying out before we then take it down to the dog kennel nearer to the house. So in here there just seems to be lots of sort of abandoned wood, as well as some furniture, and there is actually a pile of usable wood. All of this wood in here is now dry. God knows how long it's been here for, but can't leave it like this. Zane's already started piling the wood from the new tree. You can see the colour of the dry stuff compared to the wet stuff. So I'm going to see if I can figure out how to break it down, where to put it, what to do with it. Wish me luck.
Well, you sort of.
Do I want my strong arm forwards or backwards?
I'll show you how I do it. Right. We'll do it twice along. Yeah, so you sort of start like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you sort of bring it over, and this hand slides down.
Okay.
So you got it in control there.
So do I not need gloves on then? Are they going to be too grippy?
Oh, right. So you're looking where you're going. It's sort of there. You swing it over, and then your hand slides, and just let the sort of self weight. You need to put a bit of power behind it, but it's sort of the weight of it, does it?
So there. Which foot forwards?
Whatever's comfortable. I would suggest that one.
That one. Is this
Yeah, you're too far away there.
I don't know.
Just don't put it through your foot.
Okay. Don't come behind me. Scarlett's not there, is she?
No.
I hit it that time at least. And you know what it was, don't you? I closed my eyes.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean.
I genuinely did close my eyes. It's
Yeah.
like I flinched. Hi. Hey. This time I'm going to do it. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not sure that I'm ready.
Well, you hit it.
Got a bigger axe.
Just put your foot.
I thought that would do it. So I'm not going to do it.
Put your foot on the thing, on the wood, and pull the axe out. Use the leverage of the handle to pull it out. That's it. You see? Look how easy it is.
That's the wood's fault. That's not my fault.
Yeah, you want to try and hit it across the grain if you can as well.
If you look, I have.
Okay, well, that's good then.
This split was already down it.
Yeah, all right, okay.
Wait. Why not put in here?
Just come over a minute, Zay.
It's safe there. I'm not going to hit it.
You're a bit too far away, aren't you?
Do you think so?
Yeah. Put your foot on the wood. Put some weight on it, that's it.
School bus came past a minute ago.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did you wave to him?
No.
So a little bit closer then.
Yeah.
Like here.
Come a little bit closer.
Put your arms in mine. Yeah?
Yeah.
Am I not hitting it hard enough?
No.
Well, and that's why it's not breaking.
Do you want to have a go, Zane?
Yeah, I really do. I thought you broke it. No, you didn't.
Was you like this when you first did it, or did you get it straight away?
Well, I missed it a couple of times, but I did split it. My problem was I was trying to do it too hard.
Trying to do it too hard?
Yeah.
Come on then. Come and show me how it's done then, Clarky.
Watch me. Not that strong. Ready?
Yeah. What?
Like that.
Mum loosened it.
Mum did loosen it. Very true, she did.
Crikey.
You're like sore, bro. Apart from yours
What's the axe called? Mjolnir.
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 Monia.
No, Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. You got another one? I want to have another go now.
Somebody can get her. She's dancing like a
Okay,
stripper.
have them two mugs on, them two things, because I think that's really cool.
Muy bien, Emma.
Muy bien.
In October, Escape to El Campo Productions brought you Emma vs. Apple. Now, in November, Escape from El Campo Productions brings you the epic Emma vs. Log.
Yo.